Hello friends, hope you are doing good. Today in this video we'll be discussing about general study geography in civil service examination. And before almost going for the analysis of the syllabus, I'll also give you the overall picture of this subject called as geography. Assume that you're a student of geography. If at all if you're a student of geography, what exactly you'll be studying in this subject geography? What are the different branches we have? What are the different approaches we can have for the study of geography? Maybe the overall picture of this geography as a subject, we'll have it. Then once the overall picture we have an idea, then we'll almost start analyzing the syllabus demand of UPSC, civil service examination. What part of geography one is almost required to study in preliminary examination, and of course what exactly a candidate has to study in mains examination. Then of course we'll also go for a systematic analysis between the preliminary examination and mains examination. Maybe one by one we'll start with. Maybe we'll start with understanding geography as a subject. Now assume that what exactly we are going to discuss now, it has no relevance with your syllabus demand of UPSC. Only things that we are going to understand the subject geography in general terms. Say the subject itself, you call them as what? Geography. Now comes the question, what do you mean by geography? Word itself says it is geography. What is this graphy? Graphy is nothing but what? Study. Study of what? Geo means earth. We are going to study about earth. Simple meaning. The study of earth, the systematic study of earth, you call them as what? Geography, or you call them as what? Geography. Now comes the question. Okay, fine. This is nothing but what? The study of earth. Now what exactly I am going to study in geography? Or let me assume, what are the different branches we have in this subject called as geography? See, geography predominantly has two branches. You call them as a division, you call them as a branch. What are they? Number one, you call them as what? The physical geography, and number two, you call them as what? The human geography. So geography, if at all if you want to classify, divide them into two major divisions or branch, we call them as physical geography, and number two, you call them as what? Human geography. You call them as what? Human geography. Now comes the question, what exactly I am going to study in this physical geography, and what are the things what I am going to study in what? Human geography. Put it very simple. If you ask me what exactly you're going to study in physical geography, my answer is very simple. I'm going to study about earth. And if you ask me what exactly I'm going to study about or study in human geography, again my answer is very simple. We are going to study about world. Now almost most of you would have almost developed this doubt. That means this doubt would have been almost by this time it would have emerged, right? Don't you think this earth and world is same? Certainly not. Earth and world, they are different in their own senses. Okay, fine. To understand the basic difference between earth and world, maybe we'll not almost understand as earth and world itself. Maybe one more example we'll take it. We'll try to understand the difference between the two words. Say for example, everyday parlance, you come across these two words. Say for example, sometimes you call them as house. Sometimes you call them as what? Home. Now comes the question, do you have any difference between house and home? 110% yes, there is a difference between house and a home. Now think and just see that what exactly you mean by house and you mean by home. My dear friends, don't you think house is just what? A building. It is just a physical entity, right? It is just a building, a structure which is made up of brick and mortar. You call them as what? House. And now comes the question, on what occasion this house becomes home? Can I say, whenever I have a house, along with the house, if you have a socio-economic structure called as family, then this house becomes what? Home. So somewhere I understand house can eventually become home. House is an essential part of home, but every house do not make a, means almost becomes a home if you do not have this family as a structure. This family, you call them as what? People. They are nothing but what? The socio-economic setup in this house. So what is understanding? House is just a building. This building, along with the family, you call them as what? Home. My dear friends, somewhere similar to this relation, I can relate it or we can relate it between physical geography and human geography. What is this physical geography? If I am studying only about earth in isolation of human being, I call them as what? Physical geography. What all I'll be studying? I'll be studying about the land, landform features. I'll be studying about atmosphere, atmospheric structure, composition, atmospheric features. I'll be studying about oceanic features and oceanic property. So when I start studying about the earth in general, without including human beings in it, you call them as what? Physical geography. When I start including the human element in it, you call them as what? Human geography. As simple as this. Only earth. When I talk about only earth, I am just going to study about earth. You call them as what? Physical geography. Right. If I'm just going to study about earth along with the people, along with their socio-economic setup, along with the human setup in it, then I call them as what? Human geography. Is what the basic difference is all about. Physical geography is the fundamental idea behind the human geography. Right? Without physical geography, you cannot study human geography in isolation. Right, sir? Now, this being the basic difference between human geography and physical geography, and again, somewhere we said, when I talk about human geography, what exactly we study human geography? Further, if you want to divide, subclassify this human geography, make it very simple. Right? What exactly you're going to study in human geography? One, you're going to study about the people. The study of people, you call them as what? Social geography. You call them as what? Social geography. And if you're going to study about the economic interaction, what exactly the people used to have with the physical environment, you call them as what? Economic geography. You call them as economic geography. So, when I talk about social setup of human being, if you study the people along with their environment, you call them as what? Social geography. If I'm just going to study about the resource base of the world, their interaction of people, economic interaction of people with the physical environment, you call them as what? Economic geography. And that's the reason. When we talk about human geography is sometimes also called as socio-economic geography. It is also called as socio-economic geography. Now, my dear friends, these are the two broad branches of geography what we have. I repeat, one, you call them as physical geography, where you will be studying about the earth, an isolation of human being. When I talk about human geography, it's all about the study of world. Along with the earth, I am also including the human element in it. You call them as what? Human geography. You call them as what? Human geography. These are the two basic divisions of geography what we have. Now, apart from the divisions, that's the reason sometimes few classification says human geography, some classification says that geography can be subclassified into two major divisions. You call them as what? Physical and human. Few other classification says geography can be subclassified into three major divisions. You call them as physical geography, social geography and economic geography. Now I know social and economic geography put together, I call them as what? Socio-economic geography. Otherwise, you also call them as what? Human geography. As simple as this. Right, my dear friends? Now, apart from studying the different branches of geography, there are approaches. You call them as a universal approach versus a regional approach. Whether this subject you're going to study in the complete universal approach, holistic pattern, entire world you're going to study, or you're going to select a small area and you're going to study about this very small region. This you call them as what? Approach. If you ask me, what are the different approaches we have for the study of geography? Right, this approaches predominantly, you have two approaches. One, in my parlance, I call them as a universal approach. When I talk about approaches, approach of study, I have two. One, I call them as universal approach. Universal versus a regional approach. The geography, assume physical geography of the entire world, if I'm just selecting it, I call them as what? World geography. This universal approach, I call them as what? World geography. Right, sir? And when I talk about the region can be anything. Region can be a continent, region can be a country, region can be a state, region can be a district, whatever it is. Very small region if you're just selecting it. Right, if you're just studying about that particular region in detail, you call them as what? Regional geography. But preparing geography in country called India, I understand the most predominant, the primary region what we'll be focusing is our own country and such region, or I would say, right, whatever geography we study for India specific, you call them as what? Indian geography. Indian geography. So, when I talk about geography, the approaches what we have in geography, right, we have two different approaches. You have the universal approach and the regional approach, right? The only thing is that I should go for a combination, right? How many different combinations are there, right? Just to reiterate these combinations, assume when I talk about the branches, somewhere we said the major branches are two. You ask me what are the two major branches we have, as you know, one you call them as what? The physical geography, and two you call them as what? Human geography. And when I talk about the approaches, again you have two very important approach of geographical study we have. One, you call them as universal approach, you call them as what? A world approach. And two, at least that region, what you have is what? India. Right, sir? Now, if that is the case, how many different combinations that exist in this subject called as geography? Primarily, the combinations are four. What are they? One, it is physical geography of the world. Number two, it is physical geography of India. Number three, human geography of the world. And number four, it is human geography of India. These are the four different combination of study what will we have. Now, if you ask me, what are the major divisions of geography we have? What exactly we'll be preparing in the subject called as geography, particularly almost putting yourself in India. These are the four major areas what we have. Physical geography of the world, physical geography of India, human geography of the world, human geography of India. Please do remember, when I talk about this human geography, sometimes it is also called as what? Socio-economic geography. It's also called as socio-economic geography. Now, my dear friends, somewhere we have an overall idea about this geography as a subject. Now here, we are not discussing about geography in preliminary examination or mains examination. No, this is complete geography as a subject. What exactly we'll be studying geography, if at all, if you're studying from this country called as India. Now, somewhere we have an idea that what exactly this subject is all about. My dear friends, with this very little knowledge or an idea, what is very important for us to discuss now is the demand of this subject in UPSC preliminary and mains examination. One by one we'll see. And of course, understanding the syllabus is very, very important when it comes for UPSC preparation, because generally people say that it means everything under the sky you should read for becoming a civil servant. No, not at all. Please try to understand, or kindly try to understand, the syllabus demand. UPSC hardly goes beyond the syllabus. Well within the ambit of the dictates of the syllabus, questions are generally framed. Unfortunate incidents, very rarely we have a questions going out of the ambit of syllabus, but I understand majority of the time, mostly, right, near completely, I understand questions are framed within the scope of the syllabus. Now, understanding the syllabus in that regard is very, very important.